Hey everybody, it's Tom from Virginia Beach and we're live. Great to see you here tonight. We got a great show tonight. We got a great guest. I guess we don't really have guests, so I'm the guest. So glad you could make it. Got all kinds of, I think we're going to be a little bit longer tonight. Got all kinds of cool news items for you and a lot of fun things tonight. And always have to give the warning for those of you new checking in. I could get a lot of hands sometimes with my language when I get mad about some a-hole or moron in our a-hole of the week section. So, when you check in, go ahead and put a comment in. Tell us who you are, where you're calling in from, and if you wouldn't mind, hit your share button so we can keep building the show so I can keep doing this for you. I'm going to refresh my page here at Facebook on the laptop, so it'll finally bring me up here. People are rolling in. Had a really funny funny thing there today on this comedian talking about political correctness. You can look at that later. Hey Tim, how are you? Tim was just here. Somi, hi Somi. What's going on? Susanna, hey, Susanna got a new picture today. I think that I saw the notice of that today. Susanna. Oh, Susanna. Let's see. Alan, looks like Alan's here. I think. I don't see his name here yet. But at any rate, we got a good show tonight. I got a lot of good stuff for you. And our fake sponsor tonight is Sightmark Company. That's this. Of course, it's backwards for you all the time. Maybe if I hold it this way. I guess that doesn't work. Sightmark, and this is a laser bore sight, because this weekend I was roughing in a new red dot scope for one of my guns, and what this does is you put this little thing, it looks like a bullet, but it's really a laser in the barrel, and you point it way down range, and then when you're putting your scope on, you kind of roughly match it to where the laser's hitting, and that roughs in your scope so your gun is almost sighted in. Hey Carlton, how are you? Thanks for joining. Tennis and Pizza, the only guy I know to make that work. He's talking about fatsotennis.com. Yeah, well, that's right. I got to get my tennis court fixed. I got too many potholes in it, but I'm reluctant to get it fixed because it's kind of a home court advantage. I can hit the ball towards the pothole and the other guy breaks his leg and I win by default. Hey John, how are you? Nice to see you here. So in this episode, let's see who else is coming in. We've got some interesting mailbag stuff. We got great action in the mailbag, including one person questioning what I am. Let's see what that says. Let's see what else we got. In the news, we got lots of news today. We got an almost smart criminal. Okay. We got a dangerous prank. And everyone watching this show must call me Your Majesty. Or I will be offended. I'll be offended if you don't. So for this show, I'm Your Majesty, and I'll tell you why in the news. In the scam section, don't trust your caller ID. We're going to talk about spoofing. Brutal self-defense, well, we're clowning around again, so I'm going to tell you what to do about it. And the internet section, we'll talk about some super cheap, what they call true view YouTube ads. I mean, I'm getting ads for anywhere from 2 to 4 cents a piece. Thank you, Carlton, my humble subject. Let's see, for the speaking tip, underground humor is dead. And for the a-hole of the week, I'm actually switching that to moron of the week. And on the heroes, if it weren't for these people in the Hero of the Week section, we'd all be speaking Japanese if we were still alive. So if you wouldn't mind hitting your share button, we'll get going here. And don't forget, put a comment in, say who you are, where you're from. John's from Cedartown, Georgia. Good. Glad you could check in. All right, announcements. We got just a few scholarships left. If you don't know what that's about, you can watch the webinar at tomantionwebinars.com Tom Antion Webinars, and it's the second one down. It's in a big beige yellow box, and you can check it out at the bottom, and that'll play the webinar. If you want the scholarship, it's worth, right now it's currently worth $18,000. On the webinar it says $9,100, but it's a no-brainer, really. See who else is there. Oh, Carlton's from Tampa, Florida. Tampa, I like Tampa. Let's see, what else we got here. Please sign up for Antion.com/notify so that I can get my 100 people to do training for you on push notifications. This costs you nothing as long as it works on your browser. But this is a great way to bypass spam filters and get your message through. Let's see. Don't forget brutalselfdefense.com/video modules. That's $20 get started on keeping safe. And there we go. Okay, so let's get into the mailbag. This is kind of interesting. Hey, Barbara Ann, how are you? Looking good today. Oh, Carlton just finished grad school, 5 weeks, and I have my diploma. Well, good for you. Awesome, Carlton. Checking in from Maine, Barbara Ann. So Jolie wants to know, this is in the mailbag. Tom, I hear you mention crying your eyes out over YouTube videos, and then I hear you talking about brutal self-defense. Are you a pushover or a badass? Which is it? And then she laughs. It wasn't a mean, this is not a mean letter. Well, actually, Jolie, both. There's really not much gray area to me. I'm really, really good to and empathetic to good people or underdogs, and I drop like a ton of bricks on bad people. All right, so that's pretty simple way to live. There's not much in between with me, and I really love the underdogs, so that's why I really get empathetic and all choked up about them, and even like on my channel a little lower, I've shared this video about people being able to hear for the first time. My God, I cry my eyes out over that. I'm just thinking how lucky I've been. Yesterday, my ears were ringing a little bit because I got double ear protection when I shoot, and one of them slipped out a little bit. And my ears was like, numb for a couple hours afterwards. But when I think not being able to speak at all and then finally being able to speak, I'm like, that is freaking awesome. And when I see it for a little baby that would have been totally had a mess of a life with that, and they fix it when they're young, that's really great. So I'm a little bit of both, Jolie. Edward says, thanks for doing this show. It's lots of fun and inspiring and motivating too. Well, thank you, Edward. Donna says, what do you think about, this is a good one, what do you think about Infusionsoft? For those of you that don't know, the nickname of that is Confusionsoft. And Infusionsoft is a big email shopping cart program. And here's the thing. Who is this? Donna. The thing is great. It's awesome. It's just that if you don't have a team of geeks to operate it, you're probably not going to be paying a lot of money for not using the functionality, because it is really, really good. It's just that you can't operate. I had one lady come to me. She was spending $4,000 a month on a part-time person just to operate her shopping cart. All right, so this is ridiculous. So yeah, a Kickstart cart, the one I represent, will do 80 to 90% of what that will do at 1/3 the cost, and you can operate it yourself. So I think it's great, but not for most people that I deal with. Hey, Joy, how are you? Mark Dejanay, hey, how's it going? You're the softball guy, aren't you? I think so. Been a while since I talked to you. Let's see, Jake, have you heard of, it's either Tommy or Tommy Lauren? And yes, I have. I love this girl. This girl is freaking awesome. She's a young person. She's on the Blaze TV / internet show, and she gets in your face, and she's smart. It's spelled Tomi, and I think it's Lahren. If you watch her, she's got a lot of stuff on Facebook. She is in your face. She's obviously not a Clinton supporter. You'll know that in about 30 seconds, or 3 seconds maybe. But I just love a girl like that that can, really is smart, young, involved, and in your face. Yeah, Alan says he never cries, but his eyes sweat sometimes. Carlton, Kickstart Card, got to check that out. Yeah, Carlton, we give unlimited free training and one-on-one tutoring. I've been I think the largest reseller of that for about 15 years. I don't know lately, but I know I was for a while. So yeah, and I use it myself. So it's really powerful. So yeah, I love Tommy or Tommy Lauren. All right, let's go to the news. And this is where, remember, everybody just checking in, you must call me Your Majesty for this show. So go ahead and put it there. I bow down to Your Majesty. Put it in your comment box. I'll tell you why. The University of Michigan is forcing teachers to refer to the students at whatever they wish to be addressed as. And it's weird stuff like ZE, just all this. There's like a whole list of stuff that they they call themselves, and the professors have to go along with this BS. Dennis, hey, how are you, man? Nice to see you. So this one conservative student decided, I'm going to show them. So he put on his sheet that his professor must refer to him as His Majesty. This is great. I love this so much. So I tell you what, I'm starting to think about. I've instructed Siri to address me as Supreme Goddess. Says Barbara. Carlton says E-zine or whatever. So I don't see anybody calling me Your Majesty on here. Nobody's doing that. I got to get forward to see over my laptop to the comments. I'm thinking about starting a business movement to put pressure on these stupid ass administrators and tell them, okay, you go along with all that stupid, ridiculous crap that you're doing. Also, there's another video on my channel down here, not my channel, my Facebook thing, from a comedian talking about politically correctness. It's kind of cute. But anyway, I think as businesses ought to get together and send a letter. Maybe I'll start a whole big movement here. Guess what? If you go along with this crap, we're not going to hire anybody that comes from your university. How about that? And it's a shame that, some of the kids that don't go along with this that are there, but there's not that many of them anymore. Most of them are going for these safe spaces and all this snowflake pussy stuff that just makes me sick. So I wouldn't hire anybody from University of Michigan. I've hired thousands of people in my career, not tens of thousands like Donald Trump, but at least thousands. And I wouldn't hire anybody. They came from that environment. I want to take a little snowflake in to start giving me shit about everything. That would last about a millisecond. All right, they'd see how much their lives matter to me if they pulled that shit around here. Okay, that's in the news. So call me Your Majesty. Let's see. Carlton says other kind. Some of the kids even consider themselves as other kind because they feel they connect more with animals. Hey, you know what? I'd have thought you were kidding, Carlton, but I believe you. I think they would make better wild animals, some of them. That's kind of an affront on wild animals, actually. All right, so next we got, I can't make this up, folks, in the news. We got Ms. Ashton Barton, she's 33 years old. She was charged with shoplifting a vibrating sex toy from a CVS pharmacy. This is in Largo, Florida. And she tried to get the police to sympathize her by explaining that she was in a troubled marriage and her husband doesn't want to touch her anymore, and she said, "I'd rather do this than be unfaithful." Right? So the policeman said, "Well, show me what you mean." No, I'm just kidding. The policeman didn't say that. But so she got arrested for shoplifting a vibrator out of CVS. I didn't really know they had vibrators. There's Dennis. Thanks, Your Majesty. That's right, my subject, Dennis. Hey, Orrin, how are you? Orrin, you got to call me Your Majesty for all comments. Just let you know. You come in late and you don't know why? It's your fault. Too bad. Hey, Orrin, there's some movie coming out that looks like it's about your life. They're helping kids play chess. It's a big movie. I forget the name of some crazy name coming out. I thought, man, you should have been on that movie. What does that have to do with not paying for the purchase? I don't know, Mary Beth. Maybe she was emotionally distraught and forgot to pay for her vibrator. I don't know. I didn't know CVS sold vibrators, tell you the truth. I wonder what else they got there. Okay, let's see. Now, this was the smart criminal. Well, almost. All right, now, this started out as a great idea, I thought. But it just didn't work out. I'm not sure how the guy got caught. But Benjamin Graffius, 39 years old, got charged with several instances of indecent exposure I'm sorry, to Amish people in Pennsylvania. He told the police he targeted them because he knew they didn't have phones to call the police. So somehow they got to the police and they got him. So that was, I said, it started out as a logically good idea, but it just didn't end so well. And then we have, let's see, Valerie, now we're back into the dumb criminal things. Valerie Godbout, Mark from Canada, you'll like this one. She's 33 years old. She was visiting Orlando, Florida from Montreal, and she was driving erratically, so the police stopped her. She ended up getting charged with drug possession, but she said to the police officer that she was driving on the wrong side of the road because that's the way they do it in Canada. So I don't think so, Valerie. I'm not sure you have the right country. Let's see. You got some more here. Mary Ann Christie was arrested in Roseville, Illinois, because the police spotted her driving through town with a 15-foot tall tree vertically stuck in her front grille. She's driving around town like this. And apparently she was too intoxicated to recall where she acquired the tree and how long ago she hit it, or she put it there. Oh boy, this is a lot of fun. And now this is for those of you techies out there, this is a big breakthrough here. Japan's Advanced Institute of Industrial Technology has developed a chair frame, a chair that authenticates anything by merely sitting down. Basically, it's a butt scanner. Dennis is floored again. Pine air freshener. She must have been sniffing too much pine air freshener. It's a butt scanner. Professor Shigeomi Kashimuzu's device produces a map of the user's unique derriere shape featuring 256 degrees of pressure and 360 different points. And it can be used to protect against vehicle theft, but also connected to a computer to prevent logons from unauthorized posteriors. In other words, the asshole at work that wants to look in your computer, his asshole doesn't work anymore in your computer. Hey, Joseph, how are you? Nice of you to stop by. Okay, so now this is something that's, it's kind of, the idea is kind of funny, but it's very, very dangerous. And Home Depot did the right thing pulling this off the shelves. But there's a site called scarypeeper.com, SCARYPEEPER.com, and it's a little Halloween or scary prank where you stick it on the outside of somebody's window on their house, and it's somebody looking in, and it's very realistic looking. They even have one that's battery operated, remote control, where the finger will tap on the window. I mean, it's scary as hell. And they have another one that's even worse. It's called the Scary Intruder, where it's a guy in a mask. Of course, it's just a little thing about this big. The Scary Intruder's two pieces, the head and then a little hand, and it's got a mask over his head, peeking around the door, and his hand on there. And from the other side, you see somebody in your house with a mask. I mean, I'm pretty cool, but I mean, I might be. Somebody that's not, good with guns might shoot something through the window and go kill some little kid in the next house or something. So this has been, like I said, it's funny to me and it's a cool idea, but too dangerous. Don't do this to anybody. It could turn into tragic consequences, especially the one in the house, because a lot of places, like in Virginia, they have to be threatening your physicality to shoot them. All right, but in a lot of states, it's not. If they're in your house, boom, 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 boom. So somebody's going to shoot up the wall, shoot through the house. I mean, very dangerous. So Home Depot pulled it off the shelves, and don't fool with something like this. It's ridiculous. Okay, so let's go to the scam bag. And who's in the scam bag? The scumbags. Let's see what we got here. All right, don't trust your caller ID. There's a technical thing called spoofing. It's still available today. You can do it if you want. Of course, they're gonna the place that helps you do it is going to say it's just for entertainment purposes, right? You can go to spoofcard.com, spoofcard.com, and when you call somebody, it can make your caller ID show up as any number you want. Well, a lot of people are doing this. They're getting the IRS's phone number, spoofing it, and it shows up as IRS on your phone, and they try to get money out of you. So this is really bad. And anytime somebody calls unsolicited, hang up right away. And the problem is everybody's too nice. Somebody was here at the retreat the other day, and they got a call from one of these fake. It wasn't IRS. It was something else. And I kept saying, just hang up. Shut up. You're being too nice. Just hang up. It's fake. And but the idea is you just hang up, and then you can call the published number somewhere else, the real number, and ask if this is real. But IRS does not call you. They send registered letters or an agent to pick you up if you're that bad. All right. So don't give out any personal information. Hang up. But call back the published number of whatever organization it is, report it, see if it is real, which 99% of the time it will not be. Now, here's one thing that I'm going to tell you about, just in case your system hasn't upgraded yet. But a lot of your voicemails are set so that if you call in from your an authorized number, it lets you write into the voicemail without putting a password in. Well, all they have to do is spoof your number, and when they call in, then they can listen to your voicemails. All right, now this has been fixed on most of the major systems, but call, if you're worried about this, call and check to see if it has been fixed. And also put a password on your voicemail. All right, so it requires voicemail with no auto authentication, it's called, if your number calls it, because if they're spoofing you, boom, they got all your voicemails. All right, so that's your scam bag for today. All right, your self-defense tip. Well, one thing I forgot to tell you last week. Let's see who's. See you, Tom. Got to run. Okay, Your Majesty. He says that. Hey, Charlotte, how are you? Hope you're feeling better. So last week I forgot this for some reason, but there's a company called Osdin Shield. OSDINSHIELD. OSDIN, like Osdin Shield, SHIELD. They make bullet-resistant furniture. Okay, so this chair, other than my head sticking up, if somebody shot in the back, it would stop the. It's not this chair because I don't have one, but I'm just saying that's what the idea is. They have bullet-resistant couches, so if somebody's shooting drive-by, you could jump on your couch and the bullets would hit the back of the couch and keep you safe. So they have lots of cool stuff over there. So it's osdinshield.com, and that's bullet-resistant furniture. Now, we're back with the clown apocalypse is spreading like crazy. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that. I mean, it's I don't know, I've heard of, I think, at least 10, 12 states that these clowns are luring kids into the woods with candy and stuff. And one actually, like this one, let's see, it was Cincinnati suburb of, let's see, Reading. They had to close the public schools and a Catholic school because a woman told police she was attacked by a man dressed as a clown who made threats against students, and so they closed all the schools. I mean, this is getting crazy. And an Arkansas sheriff, J.R. Smith, says he's not going to put up with any of this stuff. If somebody's hiding their identity and acting creepy, he's going to arrest them just for fun. Just, all right, you want to have fun as a clown? All right, we're going to arrest you as a clown. Now, there's still some scuttlebutt that some of this is promoting a movie, the scary movie about clowns. And the first time this happened, that's what happened. But some of these crazies are, it's spreading the country. Now, I remember 28 years ago, when I first started my entertainment company, we were not allowed to do clown or gorilla or anything that obscured the face in banks. So this is not a new concept of dressing up as a character to pull crimes. All right, so I can relate to that. Also, I remember I had my entertainment company. This little girl, I don't know, 3 or 4 years old, she looked up at me. She says, "Are you a real clown?" And I said, I don't know. Am I a real clown? I had to think about that for a while. But so here's the thing, folks. You got to train your kids not to be lured by anybody that's in a weird setting. I mean, yeah, if you're at Disneyland and Mickey Mouse comes up, that's one thing. But if you're out in the park and some clown is standing next to the tree line and telling your little kids to come over to get some candy, you got to start working on that. And pay attention. I mean, all of this boils down to what Alan Baris and I would say is, hey, Jane, how are you? Would say awareness. Most people walk around with what Alan calls their head up their apps. And I go a little further with where their head is. You got to be aware. You should never be that close to anybody. And, and you adults are able to tell if there's a grand opening and a clown standing in the front door giving out balloons. Well, that's one thing, all right? But if there's a clown acting menacing in a weird situation, stay the heck away from them. Don't get anywhere near that. Yeah, Jane's doing great. And if you ever need reading glasses, Jane's your person. I was going to say Jane's your man. Well, that doesn't fly. She sells all kinds of stuff. I wish she'd come out with that course on how to use those services and stuff. So anyway, you got to be aware, folks. Please spend a day tomorrow just watching people. And don't get close to people you don't know. Don't let them get close to you. Watch their hands, all right? And get in the habit of that, and you're going to stay safe. You're going to increase your chances of staying safe by infinite numbers if you just start paying attention a little bit to safety. Okay, let's see what we got here. Our internet tip. We got some, there's an ad form in YouTube called a True View ad. That means that you don't pay for it unless somebody actually watches it for a certain amount of time. See, the views on these Facebook things, they look kind of inflated. And because I think if somebody trips on my live stream for 3 seconds and plays it and then leaves because they think I'm an idiot, it only took them 3 seconds to figure that out, I guess. It still counts as a view. But it's about 30 seconds, or if the video is longer than or shorter than 30 seconds, if they watch the whole thing, then you get charged. But True View ads, there's two types. One runs where you have the little skip button. You've all seen those, right? But there's another one that I'm working with right now called a discovery ad. It used to be called an in-display ad. And I'm getting anywhere from 2 to 4 cent clicks or views of my videos. And one of my videos is 2 hours long. It's actually just a webinar. And some, I'm getting sign-ups. I got some shorter videos just trying to get people to sign up. But normally a sign-up costs you, 50 cents to $1 to get a new subscriber nowadays. So I'm getting them, not everybody that views my stuff signs up for something, right? But it looks like we're starting to get them for 20, 30 cents, and there's just unlimited numbers of them as long as you do your keyword research. So this is called in-discovery ads. I'd say take a quick, there's a bunch of people that'll tell you how to do it. But even some of the videos you already have, so you don't have to go shoot any new videos if you don't want. You can take videos you already have and use keywords to drive traffic to them. And then in your description and your annotations and your cards, link them to your site to buy stuff or sign up for something. And, for views, anywhere from 2 to 4 cents. I mean, now if you do a lousy video and, it could be 20 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents for a view, because the less people that watch your video, the more they charge you. If you get lots of people watching your video because you did a good job, your cost goes down. And it's just crazy, a couple cents to get a view. And don't go to Fiverr and buy fake views. These are real people that are searching on the internet and they find your video. It's going to say ad next to it. That's one of the ones at the top you see, or in the related videos that say ad. That's what we're talking about, called a discovery ad. Used to be called in display. But the overriding name is a True View ad because you don't pay unless they actually watch it. All right, there's your internet tip. Okay, let's see your speaking tip. So I told you I'd be giving you lots of ways to find humor. So I told you underground humor is dead. Well, not really. This is tombstone humor. This is where you can just type in tombstone humor. You can type in tombstone humor and then click images and you'll actually see tombstones with this stuff on it. Some are fake, but some are real. And there's a book called Best of Gravestone Humor, all right, by Louis Schaefer, Schafer. There's 23 of them right today on Amazon used for a penny plus shipping. So you'll probably pay about $4 to get this book. And they're funny as heck. Some of them are, let's see, on the tombstone, I died from, or that's what it's the tombstone talking to you. Died from not forwarding that text messages to 10 people. One of them says, I told you I was sick. And then another one says, the joke's over, let me out of here. So that's your speaking tip, tombstone humor. We have, in the Wake 'em Up speaking book, we got 31 different ways to use humor without telling jokes. So you can be hysterically funny without having impeccable timing. And of course, I want you to get that. I mean, I did 1,000 comic presentations before I even started professional speaking. So that gives you really good timing, and you know what works ahead of time, and you know what doesn't work ahead of time. But some of this stuff, you just read it, and people start laughing. And it's best to always make a point with it somehow. So that's a whole nother lesson. But this is a way to find some funny humor. Okay, let's see. Susanna says, check out the video on the page of a guy named Chase Pryor. The video on his page was taken down. It was taken down the street from my house. The guy was dressed as a clown. Oh my God. You should have tripped him when he's running. I did have a little baby pee on my leg when I was a clown doing her little birthday party. Also, you might notice my buddy back here. Santa Claus is not dead. And I don't want to brag or anything, folks, but I doubt if you know anybody that's ever been to Santa school. I went to Santa school. And I was the Santa for National Geographic's Christmas party in D.C. 3 years in a row. How do you like that? All right, so you can just call me Your Majesty the Santa. How about that? Hey, Judith, how are you? I actually did some naughty parties too. I would do the kids party. Like, they'd hire me at private parties, and so I'd do the kids party, and then the kids would all go to bed, and then I would do the adult party, and I got a little naughty there with, I don't know if you know it or not, but Santa been known to lay a few dolls under the Christmas tree, stuff like that. And what's the worst thing about being Santa? Oh, you only come once, and that's down the chimney. Your Royal Hiney, Mary Beth called me. Remember, everybody's just checking in. I'm Your Majesty for this call, and you have to listen to the replay to see why that is. Okay, so we get to our A-hole of the week. We're switching that up to the moron of the week. And before I get into that, I want to update on this asshole Colin Kaepernick. There's some great stuff happening. Many bars are using the reason his jerseys are selling is they're using them for floor mats. They're taping them down, and you wipe your feet on it when you walk into the bar. That's a good one. Then they're getting little stickers with his jersey and putting them on the urinals in the men's bathroom so you can pee on the guy. This is great. And but I was telling you how one asshole like this can cause all this trouble for young, impressionable minds. And makes his bullshit spread. I wouldn't mind if the guy, I would mind, yeah, but I don't mind the guy protesting, but not that way. Because you got high school kids, a whole team is kneeling down, and chances are they have no idea why. They're just being ornery, knowing they can get away with it in this politically correct bullshit society. So, something good happened out of that. I don't know how good it really was, but interesting. So the police officers that volunteer at this high school said, you know what? Those kids have every right to kneel down and disrespect the flag and disrespect our country and disrespect our troops and disrespect us as police. Every right. Do you know what? We volunteer to work the games for them. So we have every right to quit volunteering. And so the police walked out, and the school district now has to scramble and say, oh my God, we have no coverage for our football games now. So now we put the fans and the kids at risk, and you reap what you sow, right? So this guy, I'd love to just smack him in the face. I mean, there's some people just don't understand how much damage they can cause by doing shit like this. So anyway, that's an update on that shithead. I did think of something, and you don't have to write this list down because you can listen to the replay if you even care. But I was thinking about, how about a charity match between this piece of shit Copernic and some pro MMA fighters who are veterans. All right, so here's a list. I'm going to read it fast. Tim Kennedy, Randy Couture, Brian Stan, Colton Smith, Brandon Vera, Jorge Rivera, Tim Credur, Neil Magri, and Andrew Todhunter. All right. Let him just for fun, let's have a charity match and let him beat the living shit out of this guy for charity. You know, I think that'd be a good charitable cause. Beat the shit out of Copernic. All right, so let's get into the moron of the week. I don't know if this is pronounced correctly, but this is a writer for the Washington Post, Abba Battare, Bhattarai. And she wrote an article, and this is serious, folks. This is not, in jest or tongue-in-cheek. Is your dog's Halloween costume sexist? Is your dog's Halloween costume sexist? What a fucking piece of shit. We got ISIS cutting off people's heads. I don't want to sound like Donald Trump, but we got ISIS cutting off people's heads, blowing up people, running over them with trucks. And this is the most important thing this lady can think of to write about. And virtually 100% of the comments are negative. All right, people, canceling their subscription, saying this is just bullshit. Now, this U.S. Air Force retired guy, I'm going to read some of his comments. He said, "I'd like to hear more about the impact on my dog's feelings if placed in a gender-confused costume." He said, "Is it possible my bold, gender non-conforming selection will have a debilitating impact on my dog's ability to thrive amongst his peers?" And what debilitating results might occur if my female service dog is dressed as a nurse? Am I wrong for wanting to win a Halloween costume competition at the expense of my dog's feelings? They just dragged this doofus over the coals. What a stupid. And people were saying, this is the paper that broke Watergate, that was revered for years and years and years, and this is what they turned into. Not only all their bias against Trump and, in the bag for Clinton, and so she's our moron of the week. Now let's get to our hero of the week. I love unsung heroes, and I'm the first to admit that Indians got a raw deal in this country. Now, I'm not in favor of changing the name of the Redskins or any of that stuff, all right? That's crybaby to me, all right? But I do admit that they got a raw deal on a lot of stuff. So I want to take this chance to highlight 29 Navajo Indians who stood up for our country. And there was 420 in total after this program, this secret program that was classified for, I think 20 some years. But what was happening was, in World War II, the Japanese were deciphering all our secrets. And these 29 Navajo Indians developed a code that would take a machine at the time 4 hours to create a message, and they could do it in minutes, and on the receiving end it could be decoded in minutes. And this is one of the things that was credited in our winning the World War II. When I said we would all be speaking Japanese if we were still alive, all right? So this code was based on their language, and the Japanese could not crack it ever, and this helped us, get all our stuff done without them knowing our every move ahead of time. All right, like they do with ISIS. Let's put it in the Congressional Register. We're going to bomb this thing on 2 o'clock on Thursday. So make sure, ISIS, you guys aren't there, all right? That's how stupid things are now. There's a book about this on Amazon called Unsung Heroes of World War II. The story of the Navajo Code Talkers is what they were called, Code Talkers. And also, just on that topic, Bill O'Reilly's got the book Killing the Rising Sun, which is just, wow, it's #1 everywhere, and it's supposed to be pretty tough read because of the nastiness that was in it. But hey, Sherry, how are you? I could never sound like the scammer Trump. Kathy Reagan, John, hey, how are you? No, it was Code Talkers, Jane. That's what the name of the book is anyway. Unsung Heroes of World War II, the story of the Navajo Code Talkers. I don't know, that must be what they coined them. So thank you so much to those 20. I don't know what their names are. I hope maybe they're in the book, but 29 people that, even though they got kind of a raw deal, stood up for the country. Unlike piece of shit Kaepernick, who has millions of dollars, whether he sits on the bench or not, and pisses all over the country. So that's the kind of person that you can depend on. This one of these Navajo folks that helped us win the war. All right, so there we go. So make sure you go to Tom Antion Live and join the service so we help promote each other. It's listed there. And sign up for antion.com/notify so that when I get 100 people, I'll do a class on teaching you to use these push notifications to so that you don't have to worry about spam filters. It's free, so it's crazy not to do it, for sure. And also, I think we're about $1,400 short of our goal for my buddy with the brain tumor. So if you desire, so care, go to GoFundMe.com/SuperGene. GoFundMe.com/SuperGene, Gene. That's a capital S for super and G for Gene.